I get the worst angle. I'll work on that for you, YouTubers. But welcome to the Rock Talk Show. This is a place and time. Thank you, Brittany. I'm glad you like them. This is a place and time that's in real time. So if you see me stop and talk, it's because I'm having conversations with people who are in the room chatting with us in the world of TikTok at Rock Talk Show. If you want to join me over there, this is our time to have like that coffee talk, that water cooler talk, those conversations we don't get to have anymore because we're all so disjointed. We do them here Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. Pacific time, and I'm thrilled to see y'all. So today we're going to start by talking about, we got to talk about Caitlin Clark. It's the gift that keeps on giving, which I think is a good thing because that means that something weird and odd is not going on in the news today. But there is some controversy. There is some Caitlin Clark controversy. We'll be talking about that. We've got to talk about the latest in the Markles, the royals. Meghan Markle is at it, and then she is rolling and going. So we'll talk about that. We're also going to break down the things on the Olympics, 100 days away. It's so close, I can feel it. And some Celine Dion news as well. By the way, this year, what is this year? But today in music, Rocket Man came out in 1972. Where were you? I wasn't even in the womb. I think I was in the ovaries. I wasn't around. The Eagles came out in 1973. A year later, same day, came out with Desperado. Why don't you? That's a good song. It's sad. It's good though. You gotta let somebody love you. Let somebody love you. So good. Okay. The other song that came out 3 years later in 1976 was The Boys Are Back in Town. Michelle was born. Well, Michelle, hello? That's amazing. Some good music came out then. Arguably better music than comes out now. We can have that conversation another time. All right. So let's start at the top. Y'all, if you are in the room, I've been adding different bells and whistles, so sometimes it's going to be a little clunky. I added some music, but I needed, and see, my picture was bigger earlier. I don't know what I did. Anyhow, we're going to roll with it. This little picture that I'm trying to show you unsuccessfully is this. Okay, get a load of this. There's a lot of controversy going on right now about Caitlin Clark because, as you know, she was the number one draft pick in the WNBA. I saw this post yesterday. My husband and I went out for a little happy hour, and right when it was going out, I saw this post, and I was like, what is happening? Please stop this nonsense. The nonsense is this. My girl Hoda Kotb, and I love me some Hoda, and I love today's show, and you can't tell me otherwise. I'm trying to make it bigger. It's not happening today. Okay. She put up this split screen, and y'all, whenever someone puts up a split screen on their Instagram or otherwise, you know that the drama is going to ensue. Her split screen showed a little bit of this, okay? What it showed was Caitlin Clark on one side as the number one draft pick in the 2024 WNBA draft, next to the 2023 men's as an NBA draft, Victor, I don't know his name, Wembanyama. I like the last name. That's kind of cool. Okay, so in Caitlin's rookie contract, she's the best ever. She's making $338,000.56. My dog is whining. I don't know why. And Victor, in 4 years, makes $55 million. She said, come on, and then tagged a bunch of other people like Jamie Lee Curtis. I don't know what she's going to do about it. Katie Couric, love her. Here's the thing, though. And I posted on her Instagram. I wasn't afraid. I'm like, hello, that's apples and oranges. Let me break down the number. Like, we cannot get mad that the WNBA is paying less than the NBA. If they had that money to pay, I believe they'd pay it. They'd pay it to have people like Caitlin Clark keep on playing. But here's the truth of the matter. The NBA makes over $10 billion, that's a B, a year. That dwarfs the WNBA, which makes a total of $200 million. That dwarfs it by 50 times. All right? So the other thing is this. We have to remember, it's not like Caitlin Clark was drafted to the NBA and they said, you're a woman, so we're going to pay you less. That's wrong. That's not legal in the US of A. That's a problem. She's in a different league completely. So yes, she's going to be paid less. If you are working at, let's say you work at Apple and or you get a job at some startup technology phone company, you're going to get paid less because it's in a different league. It's a different company. If we want the WNBA to pay the players more, there's one thing we got to do. It's not that difficult. We just have to make the decision to start watching the games, going to the games, and if you have money investing in the WNBA, it's that simple. My curiosity is, how many of us have ever actually watched a WNBA game on TV or gone to a WNBA game? And there's no shade or judgment on this. I have watched parts of them. I went to one like right when it came out. I was all excited, like, oh, that's so amazing. But I can't tell you the last time I've been to a game or watched it. And that's okay. Now, truth be told, I only watch the NBA like if it's on TV for a quick moment. My husband likes to watch the Celtics, or I watch the playoffs. But my point is, the money's not there, and it's no. And so if we can't sit there and be like, pay them more. There's no money to. What are they going to pay her with? We have to actually. It's a business. If the business generates more revenue, then they will pay their players more. But putting up posts like this and be like, oh, come on, that's so wrong. This is, come on now, ridiculous. I think it is irresponsible of people of power like Hoda Kotb to not be like, she should say, let's go to more games. And if you are outraged at the fact that Caitlin Clark is making chump change next to the NBA, then what I recommend is mark your calendars, because on May 14th, she's going to make her debut. It's going to be on ESPN2 because it's not popular enough to be on ESPN. I rest my case. 7:30 p.m. Eastern. By the way, what's interesting is a lot of people are getting mad that they're getting paid that much. They're like, neither of them should be paid that much. I'm like, let's calm down. And then other people are saying, is she even making a working wage? That set me. Some celebrity was like, is that even a work? So she's making $76,000 a year. They're like, is that even basic? What do they call that? Like minimum wage or whatever. I'm like, yes, boo. $76,000 is more than minimum wage. Show me you're out of touch by not showing me you're out of touch without saying anything. Now she's going to make she's already making $3.1 million in her endorsements, and that's only going to grow. And I think it should grow for her. She is an anomaly. She's a unicorn. But ultimately, if we want everyone in the WNBA to be paid more, then we just have to watch more. And if you're not watching, then you're not that interested. But that's considered low income these days. Oh, I see what you're saying. You're saying 76,000 is, well, I think it depends on where you live too, don't you think, Michelle? I think 76,000, depending on where you live, is considered something. I hear you. She'll make 76,000, then 78. She gets a $2,000 bump, and then the third year she'll make 85, and then she'll make 97. Now, granted, she is super talented and all those things. That's why they tried to get her to do the 3-person like base basketball league, because she'd make more there. But she has a desire to be in the WNBA, and I get that. She also has the freedom of knowing I can do this, and I get my endorsements. By the way, the WNBA, they have 40 games. The men have 82. So let's also remember that, which is also probably why they're making less. And the income for the entire, they generate less money. They have fewer games. All those things kind of play a piece. Although I think the men should have fewer games too, frankly. Yeah, I know. Rent, she's like, not the price of rent and milk and bread always increasing. Good point. Absolutely. Well, the inflation is the thing. You know what they say the highest inflation rate is right now, though? It's actually not at the grocery store. It is at fast food restaurants, which that is a whole nother ridiculous thing. So because of that, people are actually groceries. I think they said 5% has been the inflation right now, and in fast food places. It's always a thing. Inflation. My thing about this is like, since we're talking about it, inflation, annoying, yes. But my thing is this: if everyone, you know, how they have that like, oh, well, but didn't you get a raise, like a living raise? No, that doesn't happen. Companies don't give you a raise. Just people think that happens. People in the government, people who work for the government, are like, oh, but didn't you get that standard raise each year? No, it doesn't work that way in the private sector. They're like, oh, most companies are not giving raises right now because of inflation. It does happen. You get a raise and they increase your rent, exactly, or they increase your rent by more than the raise. Government workers often come out, or you hear, they're like, but didn't you get that raise, that standard living wage raise, I think it's called? No, that doesn't actually happen in the private. That would be nice. That's not a thing. Alas, I digress. Okay, so my girl Celine Dion, and I am calling her my girl. I love me Celine Dion. interesting woman, is coming out with a documentary. The documentary is going to be on her journey with stiff person syndrome. If you notice, you haven't seen her much. She did make an appearance at the Grammys this year to award Taylor Swift with the final award. But she hasn't been around because she has stiff person syndrome, which is stopping her from being able to use like just basic motor functions, which is so sad. You think of someone whose life's gift to the world, not just to the world, is her voice, and she really can't use that or do basic things anymore. I'm hoping they find a cure for it. Yes, definitely. Now, Prime Video is going to be doing it's called I Am Celine Dion. I Am Celine Dion. And it's going to be coming out on June 25th. So check that out on Prime Video. I will be watching that. I'll give you the 401, and I'll remind you when it comes out. Let's go to Meghan Markle, shall we? Little royals, and we'll never be royal. See, I need to get my music like going, and then I could just do a little like bump like that each time. That might be a little bit lofty, but a girl can help. Did anyone get any tea with jam and bread in the mail recently? Because you could have been one of the 50 people, they were her friends, let's be real, who got strawberry jam from Meghan Markle. Meghan Markle is coming out with a new company. It has about 20 pieces of lifestyle brand, and it's called Riviera Orchard Product. American Riviera Orchard. American Riviera Orchard. I'm not sure why it's called that. When I think of the Riviera, I think of like the French Riviera. But strawberry jam, she put it out there. And if you Google Meghan Markle strawberry jam, you'll see pictures of people, 50 of them, who have this bottle that you're seeing here, this jar, and it says like this one is from, I think Tracy Robbins put it on her Instagram, and 17 out of 50. She is also going to be doing on Netflix, so they have that big Netflix deal. She's going to bring out a show that celebrates the joy of cooking, gardening, entertaining, and friendship. That seems kind of warm and fuzzy. I kind of like it. I'm down with it. Prince Harry, on the other hand, is going to be bringing out a Netflix venture, and it's going to show the inside track of the world of polo. I will be a little bit slower to watch that one. I'm going to be honest with you. Polo doesn't get me going. I'm not opposed to polo, but I'm not like sitting down and watching the Dynasty, that amazing docuseries that went on about the Patriots. But good on them. Happy for them. Should be interesting. And last but not least, let's talk about Olympics. Then we're going to talk about whatever y'all want to talk about. And I've got some fun, like just personal things to show you. If you want to know YouTube, you got to come to the TikTok. Okay, so when it comes to the Olympics, we talked about the Olympics yesterday and those scary uniforms that Nike put out for the women's USA track and field team. They've come out again and said, listen, that was one of 50 designs that they're going to be able to choose from. We just were in a hurry. We showed you one. But don't show the one that I don't know, that requires a lot of waxing down there. Let's just put it that way. We are officially 100 days away from the Olympics. And in addition to that, get a load of this. For the opening ceremonies, they're changing it up. They're going to have, with Mike Tirico, of course, he's the voice of the Olympics, NBC is going to have Kelly Clarkson and Peyton Manning. That is going to be a fun hootenanny time. Alex Cooper from the podcast Call Her Daddy is going to be doing things on Peacock viewing parties, which I'll be viewing. And Snoop Dogg is back. Snoop Dogg commentated the horse crip walking. You know, when they walk. He commentated that in the Tokyo 2020 Olympics. I guess he was such a hit that now he'll be there for the evening primetime coverage. He'll be a regular attendee of that. So there you have it. Also of interest, for the first time ever, get a load of this. And this little picture, it's not showing up like I want it to, but that's when they were giving the lighting, the torch, and sending it off to Paris. That's in Greece. They're going to be giving some money. $50,000. If you win a gold medal in track and field, you get $50,000 plus your gold medal. I think that is great. I think that is amazing, and that's a yes, please, and thank you. That's exciting. That's going to be happening, and maybe it'll happen more. They do so much work to get there, I tell you. Hey, question for you. Did you ever go to TGIF when you were a youngster? TGI Fridays? Oh my gosh, that was like the place. TGI Fridays was like, we had special banquets there and things. TGI Fridays. They are going public. They're merging with a UK franchise and they're going public. You can have now stake in what were those things? They're tater tots. Oh my gosh, I love their tater tots. And their shakes and their burger. They had a burger with bacon on it. Oh my goodness. It's been a long time, but those things I remember vividly. Also, speaking of franchises from when I was Red Lobster, Red Lobster is thinking about going into bankruptcy. So maybe if you want to buy them or help them, you can do that. They're having a lot of debt, and so Red Lobster might go into bankruptcy. I don't see Red Lobster closing, honestly. I see places like that, like someone's going to pick them up, right? Someone's going to lift them up. They're not going to go away forever. They have the bread, don't they, with the cheesy bread. You can actually buy it and make it. I bought it once at the store to make it. It was a little more work than I wanted, but their bread has cheese in it, and those are two good mixtures indeed. All right, if you're on YouTube, cheddar cheese biscuits. Thank you, Michelle. I'm like, what was? Yeah. That and is it Cracker Barrel that has like the honey butter? Oh my goodness, so good. Hold on, Maisie, are you okay? I'm gonna have a brief interlude. I hear my Maisie. I'm gonna make sure she's okay. If you're on the tube, I'm gonna leave you. Say goodbye. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a wonderful Wednesday, and or come join us on TikTok. We'll be continuing having a chat and having a good time over here. Once I check and see what my dog. She probably wants to get inside of the bedroom door shut. All right, y'all. See you later. Go be great. P.S. And by the way, I've got some news about my business that if you want to hear, come on over. By the way, what I will tell you is this. If you are looking at learning more about TikTok, noon o'clock Pacific time, I've got a workshop going on. I'd love to see you there. I've made some big changes to my business, which have been scary, but feel really good. So I'll be talking about that with y'all in a moment. Bye, everybody. Don't go anywhere.